Hello everybody, welcome to relaxation time. Hope you're all good. I feel really tense around my shoulders today because I've done loads of admin and I'm guessing probably everyone's feeling similar since we spend much of our lives on Zoom and computers. So I'm going to be focusing a bit on the shoulders and around the neck tonight. I have my usual stack of blankets and I've got my bolster, my trusty bolster. So if you've not made one ready for the session, then roll up your blankets, make a big fat sausage and get your cushions ready. You might also need a belt. I know I often say bring a belt and then we don't use it, but it's always good just to have it there. If you don't have a yoga belt, you can use an old tie. So now is the time to go and source something to use as a yoga belt. You could use a dressing gown cord, as long as it's not too, doesn't have too much give. If it's something like a toweling one, that's better than one of those fluffy ones because there's too much elasticity in them. So go and sort yourself out with things that you need. Get yourself set up and ready. Hopefully the space that you're in is relaxing, so it's quiet, and maybe you've got some nice smells. I've got my atomizer they're called, and that's wafting essential oils into this room. I'm burning a bit of frankincense essential oil, which is very relaxing tonight. And make sure you've got enough warm clothing, and we'll get on with the session, and whoever comes. So tonight I'd like to start with the bolster. I'm going to read you a poem, and I want to read the poem as you're relaxing at the beginning, and I will read it again at the end as we go into our shavasana. So get yourself set up on your bolster. I've got a cushion in front of mine because I want to make sure that my lower back feels comfortable. And again, as usual, making sure that you've got space overhead, because when we move our arms overhead, if we do, and coming down onto that bolster, and you can pop another cushion either under your head, or actually what I always prefer is to put it under the end of my bolster. So it's underneath, and then the bolster gently just rises up to support the back of your head. Oh yeah, that's better. And I want you just to settle down and enjoy, this lovely feeling of just arriving on that bolster. You don't have to have the soles of the feet together. If you don't want to, you could have the knees resting together with the feet wide, or you could extend the legs along the floor. So whatever works for you tonight, but as long as you can, relax. And just see if you can close your eyes here. And just settle down. So we're just allowing now the body to settle. And we're maybe noticing what we've brought with us, what mental baggage we've brought with us into our practice tonight. So what's still on our mind? What are we still bringing in? What are we still mulling over? And we'll just notice that. And what we might find as we go through our relaxation tonight is that eventually those thoughts and preoccupations will just gradually drift off as we become more immersed in what we're doing. So staying where you are and just enjoying that sensation of relaxing over the bolster. And I'm going to read you a little poem from a book called A Poem for Every Night of the Year, which is edited by Ali Azeri. And the poem is called 3 Good Things by Jan Dean. At day's end, I remember 3 good things. Apples maybe, Their skin shine, smell, and soft froth of juice. Water maybe, the pond in the park, dark and full of secret fish. A mountain maybe, that I saw in a film or climbed last holiday, and suddenly today it thundered up into a playground game. Or else an owl. I heard an owl today, and I made bread. My head is full of all of these things. It's hard to choose just 3. I let remembering fill me up with all good things, so that good things will overflow into my sleeping self. And in the morning, good things will be waiting when I wake. So just a nice thought. When I read that, I thought, oh wow, that's a really nice poem. Nice positive poem for this tricky old time that we find ourselves in. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope your body's enjoying this opportunity to relax. And then from here, so let's catch hold of our elbows and start to draw the arms overhead. So if you can have the soles of the feet together, then do. Otherwise, just having the legs wherever they feel comfortable. And we're just allowing now that stretch up the side of the body. Draw the elbows away to the wall behind, pressing either the soles of the feet together, drawing the toes towards the wall in front, or if your feet are flat on the floor, press the feet into the floor so that you can elongate the spine. And taking the breath into the body, nice deep inhales, fill up the lungs. Exhale, and then we'll bring the arms down on the exhale. Let's change the crossover, so taking hold of the opposite elbow. Inhale now, back and down. Drawing the elbows to the wall behind. Really good deep inhales and exhales. With each exhale, just letting go a little bit more. Lovely. One more inhale. And then exhaling the arms back down. Oh, lovely. Bring the hands to the floor. Bring the knees in if they're not already, to semi-supine. Good. And then we're just going to very gently curl up. Inhale to curl up. Exhaling down. So just gently stretching out the spine, really tucking under to lift just as high as feels okay. Exhaling down. One more. Good. So we're going to roll just to take out that bolster that's underneath, and maybe one of the blocks if you've got the same setup as I have. And then coming back to the floor, you could still have something for the head if you want to. And we'll just take that right knee in for an old squeeze, bringing that knee into the chest as much as you can. And then we'll straighten out this left leg along the floor and open up into the whole of the leg, right up into that right hip. Squeeze and hold. And just allowing the body to become accustomed to this new position, allowing the muscles to relax. And then maybe we could take the head up to the knee if that feels good, so that the whole spine gets a good stretch. Rolling the head back down, and then we'll change sides, so bringing the other side, other knee in, the left knee in, and straightening out that right leg now along the floor. Squeeze that left knee in as comfortable as you can, so not overdoing. We're not overworking because it's a relaxation class, but just being really conscious of the back pressing down into the floor. And again, we can lift the head if that feels good. And then bringing that back of the head down. Let's bring both knees in and have a little massage. Oh, it's so nice. Gently rolling from side to side. If it's a bit uncomfortable with something under your head here, you might feel a bit unstable, you could take that out if you want to. So whatever feels good to you. Roll from side to side. See if you can activate the feet though. Really opening up the soles of the feet. Imagine your shining lights out of the soles of your feet to the wall in front. Oh, it's so nice. So if you've got no one to give you a massage, it's so good just to be able to do this for yourself. Lovely. Catch hold of the elbows again. Bring the arms overhead now. We can bring the feet to the floor and then we can slide the legs out along into a full body stretch. Lovely. Easing those shoulders down. You can always take a little bit of movement in the shoulders just to release until you find your stillness. Muscles are funny old things. Sometimes a bit of movement can work wonders with getting them to relax. And then bringing the arms down, change the cross again. Still gently working the feet, so you're drawing the toes up towards the head, spreading the soles of the feet nice and wide. And I'm still wiggling because my right shoulder's it's a little bit dicky. And I'm just releasing that before I come to stillness. And I work to draw the shoulder blades down into the floor, elbows to the wall behind, heels towards the wall in front. Good, and then bringing the arms down to the floor. So we'll take a roll to the right to come up to sitting and have something to sit on. We're going to gently work into the shoulders and the neck. So make sure you're sitting in a comfy position that you can maintain. So it could be crossed legs, could be out in Dandasana, or you could have a go at this Sukhasana version of easy pose where the heels are lined up. But we're rising up now out of our sitting bones so that the crown of the head is drawing up, but the sitting bones are drawing down, so the spine is extending. And then we're going to take the shoulders up to the ears, and we have the hands on the legs, and we're going to push into the hands so that the shoulders really squeeze up towards the ears. Really squeeze as much as you can, squeeze, 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 and then slowly roll the shoulders back and down and just let them be soft. We're going to do that one more time, pushing into the hands. See if you can squeeze the shoulders right up, squashing those great big muscles that get so tense. Squeeze, and then we sit up, roll the shoulders back and down and let them release. Good. Right, I think 3 is the magic number, so we'll do that one more time. Squeeze the elbows, shoulders up towards the ears, squeezing them in, pushing them in, squeezing them, and then roll back and down. Oh, goodness gracious. So we'll take some gentle rolls of the shoulders now, just gently starting to ease out any of that tension that we've built up during the day. And then we can make the movements a little bigger, bringing the hands onto the shoulders, starting to make circles with the elbows, and we can get the whole of the upper body involved. It doesn't have to just be this isolated movement. We could actually just really use the whole spine, open up, and just notice almost like as the wings close, we curl down, and as they open, we open our hearts So curling in, drop the head even, lifting up to open the heart. Real slow, measured, mindful movements. And let's bring the breath into it. Inhale as you lift the heart. Exhaling to close down, lifting the elbows. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling to close. Good, and then let's bring the arms back down. Now we're going to just use the neck. So dropping the chin down towards the chest, but we're not dropping our chests. The chest stays lifted, chin draws down, so you can really connect with the back of the neck and it feels long. Then we're going to take the head over to the right. And we can take the right hand over onto the side of the face. And we can gently draw the head down, if that feels okay, not too strong. And we're also drawing this left shoulder down. So there's a sense of a stretch now down that great big muscle on the left side. Using the weight of this hand very gently, just to draw down, and we'll just sit with this. It might feel a bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. We're sitting with discomfort, and what you often find is if you can sit with discomfort, quite often it changes into something else. Okay, letting go of the head, allowing the head to return to centre, and then we'll do the same. Drop the chin down towards the chest. And then we take the head round now to the left, so that the left ear is drawing down towards the left shoulder. And this right shoulder draws down. Left hand now rests on the side of the face and is weighting down the head just a little bit, so that you can get that lovely stretch. Don't overdo, but again, it might be a sensation of a bit of discomfort. And it's going to go one of two ways. It will either be discomfort turning into pain, in which case ease off, or it might be discomfort turning into release. So just notice what's happening for you. Use the breath. Inhale, exhale to release. Good. And then we release, bring the head back up to centre. Oh, just see how that feels. And we can take a few circles just around to ease into the neck. So we're not going to go all the way round. Quite often you see people go all the way back, and that's not really that good for the tiny vertebrae at the back of the neck. Don't want to jam them together and wear them out. But just moving from side to side, and it's such a simple, gentle movement, but it's so, so good. Good. Coming back to centre. And let's bring the legs out now, straight out in front of us. If you've got a belt, you can put this around the balls of the feet, and using that belt, drawing quite strongly on it, not too much because we're not overworking. Again, we're in this relaxation mindset, so we're not striving to achieve anything with our practice. Drawing into the feet, lifting up and noticing how it feels in the abdomen. Can we release the belly? Can we be soft there now that we're using our arms to sit up? So just to notice the difference, drop the belt and sit there now, and notice the effort that has to go in. So you're just noticing that, then pick up the belt again and return to what we were doing. Just enjoy that feeling of extension and space in the back of the body. And then from there, we're going to come forwards very gently into a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. And it might only be a very small movement. It depends on how open the backs of the legs are. So no, again, don't overdo. Just really communicating with your body, noticing what the backs of the legs are saying. And if they're at their point where they're saying, yep, that's pretty much it now, you can release the head down. For some people, they may be able to get a bit lower. The hands may become a bit closer to the feet on the belt. And as the hands get nearer, you need to bring the elbows open and wide so that chest can drop down and be open. And then we release the head. Some people may catch the feet, but if it's a strain, I don't want people going, oh, I'm going to catch my feet. Oh, it's not relaxing, is it, in the upper body? Use the belt. Just allow the belt to make your arms longer and relax. So dropping the head, surrender the weight of that head. Let the back of the neck be soft. See if you can let the muscles in the shoulders just melt down. And then you're noticing what's going on in the backs of the legs. If there's some discomfort there, seeing if you can stay with it. And maybe it will turn into something else. And you can respond to that when it happens. You could move the head around a little bit on the neck if that feels appropriate. But mainly being soft in the back of the body. So while the legs work a bit more, hopefully the upper body can be soft. Use the breath. So you notice as you inhale, the body rises away from the legs a little. As you exhale, you can descend a little. Try it again. Inhaling. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Release the belt. And rolling up from there. Let's come on to knees, and we're going to come into a more active child pose. Not that active because we're relaxing, but just enough so that we can get some openness across the shoulders and the neck. So coming into a seated position on your knees, if this feels uncomfortable, you can always put a blanket between your bum and your heels if you want to. Ideally, you'll have the knees wide. And if it feels appropriate, you could tuck the toes under as well. So it depends on if you want to open up the soles of the feet here. You might choose for this to be more relaxing, in which case you have the feet just extended with the toes pointing away. And then bringing a cushion in front of you or a block, bring the hands onto that block, lift the heart, lift the head. See if you can connect with that space between the shoulder blades. And then we just sway the body down, a bit like, I don't know, a bit like a snake or something. Swaying the body down, drawing the hands away, so we're kind of walking the hands away until we can bring the head down, and the head might come to the floor, or you might want to pop a cushion or something underneath it. And what we've got is a lovely opening along the side of the body, but hopefully a softness in the back of the neck, so there's an extension there. And again we breathe. So we breathe, we use the breath to open up the rib cage as we inhale. Exhaling to release any tension. So let's do that twice more. One more. Good. And then what we can do from there is just release down completely into our child pose, a restful child pose. So bring the knees together if that works for you. You might think I'll have my head resting on a block, or it might come to the floor quite easily. And just settling yourself down. Really surrendering now all of your weight of your body to the floor.
resting that third eye space between the eyebrows on the floor, which is an incredibly relaxing, restful thing to do. Once again, take a few deeper inhales and exhales. So as you inhale, feel the body rise and expand. Exhale, release. Twice more. Once more. Good. Just enjoying that feeling. And then carefully now, rolling up, noticing what's going on with the eyes. You might have an urge to keep the eyes closed or keep the eyes looking down. They become soft when you rest that space between the eyebrows. So just moving your equipment to one side, in fact using your cushion to sit back on, will change the cross of the legs from earlier, or if you had your legs extended out in staff pose or Dandasana, you can return to that. Coming up to sitting, so we're just going to do a couple of twists, and the twists are so good for releasing the back and the shoulders. So we're going to turn to the right, bringing the back of that left hand onto the knee, bringing the right hand round, swing it round behind you. But before you turn, lift up, rise up with the chest and the head. Get the extension. Then we use this left hand to push into the knee to turn as deeply as feels appropriate tonight. And we look over that right shoulder. And we breathe. So what we'll be feeling is probably a sense of restriction now in the abdomen and the torso. And we can use the breath to release that a little bit more. So inhale deeply. Exhale. And as we exhale, we might find we can turn a bit more deeply. And we can help this process as well by pressing down with the left knee into the floor to turn a bit more. Walking that right hand behind you a little bit more to open up into the shoulders, but still making sure you're rising up with the crown of the head. So you're not throwing your weight into the back hand and leaning back. You're nice and upright. Good, and then coming back to centre, let the spine unwind, and then we'll take the right hand now onto the knee to turn to the left. Walking that left hand behind, lifting up first before you turn to your maximum that you feel able to do tonight. Maybe we're pressing into that right knee a bit more so that we can really turn strongly and use the breath. So fill the lungs, fill the torso with your breath. Exhale, maybe you can get a bit more of a turn going on there. Good. And then coming back round. Whoa. Back to centre. Have a wiggle and release. So let's straighten those legs out just to release. Give the ankles a little bit of a roll. And the other way. Good. And let's just give the feet a little bit of attention. So taking one of your feet onto your thigh or just wherever it will come to. And just giving the bottom of your foot, that instep, a bit of a rub. And the heel and the toes. Oh, just needs a little bit of attention. After a long day, they've been bearing you round all day, these feet. With a near thank you at all, probably. Little rub along the back of the heel,
Maybe we just roll the ankle round a little, and then we'll take the other foot into our hands, bring it up, and again rubbing up that instep. Use the whole of the thumb, press down to rub into the instep. Apparently this is your belly, so in reflexology this would be your belly. So if it's feeling tender, just noticing whether that's matched in the abdomen area. Rub the toes all around the head, the base of the big toe, particularly if you've got some tension in your shoulders. And the base of the toes is a good place to rub. And then coming into the heels and rubbing along the back of the heel, and then releasing. Oh, that felt nice, didn't it? So coming off your support, and we're going to come into our inversion. So we're going to go upside down, and we'll do Viparita Karani, where we use support. If you've got your period tonight, then what you can do is lay, I'll show you first of all, is lay on your back with the soles of the feet together, and rest the feet on the bolster if that feels comfortable. If it's not good on the hips, then just rest your feet this way, and that's where you can stay. Otherwise, we're going to come up into an inversion, using whatever equipment we want to. So making, you know, the bigger the pile, as I always say, the bigger the pile, the easier it is to relax. So coming into this now, you can use your sofa. I know Karen, if she's out there tonight, will probably be using her sofa. You can rest the backs of your calves on the sofa, and it feels pretty wonderful, but you can stick something under your bottom as well to give you a lift, because what's happening is you're getting a lift in the shoulders. Oh, this is so good. Just allowing the shoulders to drop down, and this flow of blood is coming down into the upper body, and it's refreshing and restoring all of the organs. The blood's being re-oxygenated. It's so, so good to be upside down at least once a day. And if you can rest your feet against the wall, it's even better for relaxation, because then the legs can really let go. But if you've got enough stuff under your bottom, it should feel pretty good anyway. So just close your eyes here and just see if you can connect with any places where you're still holding. Now chances are the legs do feel like they're holding, because they are keeping themselves up. So we won't worry overly about the legs. But just seeing if we can relax the belly and soften around the ribs and the solar plexus, the backs of the shoulders, the back of the neck. Allowing the throat to be soft and the jaw. Are you clenching your jaw? Have a little bit of space in the mouth to let the tongue relax. And maybe between the eyes, are you holding there? Are you frowning a little? Are your eyes still quite active? Feeling like they're moving around. See if you can just allow a bit of stillness to creep in there, a little bit of softening and settling. Good. And then let's bring those knees down towards the chest for a squeeze. So if you are with your feet on the bolster, you can bring your knees in now for a squeeze. See if we can relax the shoulders here.
Just do a couple of deeper inhales and exhales. And then we're going to bring the toes to the floor, lift up to take out the equipment. We're going to come into our Shavasana. So you might decide that you want this bolster under your knees. So we're going to have the legs out along the floor. But get yourself comfy now. So having something under the head, so that the back of the neck can be long and the chin draws down and the eyes can soften. And of course, get the blankets out. Cover yourself in your blanket. Get yourself cozy. You can rest the hands on the belly if you want to, or just have the hands in the traditional Shavasana, which is just the backs of the hands on the floor and the palms facing up, so that the shoulders can relax. I'm getting up so that I can talk you through the relaxation. And I'm going to read you the poem again. Oh, sorry. I'm going to read you the poem again before I leave you for a couple of minutes to rest. And at the end of the relaxation, I'm just going to ring the bowl 3 times so that you know that I'll be leaving. And you can stay on and enjoy a longer Shavasana, or just get yourself set up ready for bed and some sleep. But just settling down now into your Shavasana, resting down. Let the body drop into the floor. There's nothing else for you to do now. No more work to be done. This is your time. Just seeing whether the muscles can release down, melt down into the mat. Let the bones be heavy. Everything soft and settled. And you're warm and you're safe. Three Good Things by Jan Dean. At day's end, I remember 3 good things. Apples may be, their skin, shine, smell, and soft froth of juice. Water may be, the pond in the park, dark and full of secret fish. A mountain may be, that I saw in a film or climbed last holiday, and suddenly today it thundered up into a playground game. Or else an owl. I heard an owl today, and I made bread. My head is full of all these things. It's hard to choose just 3. I let remembering fill me up with all good things, so that good things will overflow into my sleeping self. And in the morning, good things will be waiting when I wake.
the end of relaxation for tonight. Take your time to come out, or if you prefer to stay, then stay. Either way, namaste everyone. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.